Previously on Third and Roll.
That was a comedy of errors for Ottawa, and so if you're an Argos fan, you've got to be having a little bit of fun, and if you're an Ottawa fan, you have to be reconsidering why you follow football.
I wouldn't let these kids play on my high school football team. This is absolutely ridiculous. It is a despicable display that they are putting on there. Has this happened before? It looks as though they are actually on the Toronto side of the field.
It is an age of Canadian football domination. In the West, the Edmonton Eskimos are a dynasty without equal. Behind the quarterback tandem of Tom Wilkinson and Warren Moon, the Eskimos have won 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships between 1978 and 1982. In the East, 4 teams battle it out through a 6-game season to see who will meet Edmonton in the championship game. The Toronto Argonauts have not hoisted a Grey Cup since 1952. Will this be their year? Let's find out. This is Third and Roll.
Welcome to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast. This is the podcast where we play the 1985 board game Canadian Armchair Football and role-play a Toronto Argonauts broadcast from the 1980s. My name is Spencer. This is my brother Alex.
Hello.
Today is episode 17. This is the grand finale of the penultimate game of the 1980 season. The Argos are at home against the Ottawa Rough Riders. They've got a great command of the ball, of the game. They have the lead. Will they be able to close it out? Let's take you into the game to Edward Welch and Norman Knuckleberger up in the booth. Edward, take it away. Well, welcome back to the broadcast, everybody. These Argos fans, they are loving it. It has been all Argos since jump here. They got out to an early lead in the first quarter, and then they really piled on the points in the second quarter. We will see, can they close it out here in the fourth? After one more Ottawa turnover. It is first down Toronto at their own 30-yard line.
Well, you have to wonder what else can go wrong for Ottawa here.
Jackson to Metcalf, and Metcalf picks up 5. Argos looking to control the clock here with some consistent running.
Second down.
It's going to be an end run. And it's a loss of 4. Okay, that pushes the Argos back. It is a 3rd and 9.
Zenon Andrushishin
is on for the punt. He's consulting his win tables. It was a smart move of him to check that one. Wow, it's still up in the air. Goodness me, guys, that was a 70-yard punt.
That's a big kick.
How did he do it? It is the man with the giant leg, Big Zed himself, brings the ball all the way down to the Ottawa 10-yard line.
Well, that is just about as good as a punt can be.
And Ottawa picks up 5 on the punt return. It's going to be another long field here for the Rough Riders. They're going to the end run. And wow, Crump slipped through the grasp of Bruce Clark, past Ron Southwick, and picks up 25 yards on the play. Okay, they are going for an off right tackle now. And again, 15 yards.
Midfield once again. Balance has been restored.
I felt a great disturbance in the force.
But they're not content with that. They want to keep moving it now onto the other side of the mirror.
That is 40 yards of rushing on just 2 consecutive plays. Very impressive here. And they want to keep it going. They're going for a pitch out. And who is there to snuff it out? Bruce Clark. Bruce Clark, the Penn State product, drafted by the Green Bay Packers, said, "No, thank you, sir. I don't want to play as a defensive tackle. I am a defensive end. So I'm heading to Canada." And he came here, and he has been a delight all season. Holloway going for a pass from option. The ball is complete. He's found Gabriel. Gabriel picked up 15 yards. And then after the catch, he picks up an additional 2. So that's a 17-yard pickup for the Ottawa Rough Riders. They are down to the Toronto 39-yard line. Ottawa with momentum, trying to keep it going here. They're going to an off left tackle, handing it off to Crump. And Crump picks up 4. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now. It's a run from option, folks. He picks up an additional 5.
Well, this is the best march Ottawa has had all game. They're actually moving in a forward direction. That's unusual.
Excuse me, line judge. I believe you advanced the first down marker. I do believe that they picked up 5 yards on that play after picking up 4 yards on the previous play. So that should be 3rd and 1.
Ottawa getting a little enthusiastic there. They thought they'd already made the first down. They're still 1 yard away.
It's really rare that you see the players themselves holding the sticks and marching the chain up the field. But you know what? They acted so cool about it. The line judge just kind of went with it. And it was only when the referee came in and said, hey, wait a minute, they still got a yard to go. 3rd and 1 from the Argos 29-yard line. Holloway is going for a keeper. It's a quarterback sneak. And he gets that 1 yard. Over the line! He just barely gets it.
First down, Ottawa.
From the Argos 28, Holloway going for a pass-him option. It's been dangerous for him today. But not this time. Gabriel has the ball. It's an 8-yard pickup. And then after the catch, and he gets no gain after the catch. So it's still an 8-yard pickup. It's going to be 2nd and 2. It's a run over center. No gain on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
The ruling on the field is defensive offside. Lined up inside the neutral zone. You can't do that. Offside. 5-yard penalty. Going to be first down, Ottawa.
I like when the refs really explain the rules. It's like saying, this is the rule. You can't do that. You cannot line up in the neutral zone. That's very reasonable.
In Canadian armchair football, folks, you have to line up 1 yard back from the ball. So here we go. We got 1st and 10 Ottawa from the Argos 15-yard line. A very impressive drive so far. And Crump with the ball. It's a sweep, and Crump has the corner, and Crump is into the end zone. Wow. He is super excited. It's almost as though he thinks his team has taken the lead. Still, way to go, Ottawa. They've got some real momentum here. That makes it 24-15, and they are going for Jerry Organ is on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. So with that, it's 24-16 Toronto. Ottawa just 1 converted touchdown away from tying it.
Seems like the Rough Riders may have remembered how to play football. Now that is how you move the ball.
Salutations, dear listener. It's your interview man, Todd here, checking in from the road. Since Ron left me behind at the Harveys in Kingston, I've been on the hunt for the perfect interview. I was on a high after sitting down with the Queen, but that excitement has faded, and I'm back out here riding the Greyhound, looking for my next big score. Shuttling from Paris to Vienna, Copenhagen to London, Dublin to Brussels. Yes, that's right. I've been all over southwestern Ontario on this bus trip. I'm reaching out to you to ask if you have any leads on who I can interview, or feedback on my past interview. Did I get something wrong? Did I get something right? Please reach out to me at thirdandroll, all one word, at gmail.com. Don't usually see an ampersand in a phone number, but oh well. Well, I see my bus is getting ready to ship out. I've met a group of 5 young women from England on this trip so far, and they're waving at me to hurry up and get on the bus. So until next time, dear listener, Todd Gray, out.
What's that, Norman? You spend a lot of time in pool halls. What's it called when somebody gets you into a game and they pretend to be really bad until the very end, and then they turn on the magic and then they absolutely destroy you after convincing you to have raised the stakes of the game?
Wow, if that's how it worked in football, if you could just imagine that the one team's losing really badly until halftime, they're like, okay, how about we double down? Let's say whatever points are scored in the second half are worth double. I guess it only works if you actually get paid for the points you score. Now, how would that change the football game? Imagine players got paid based on the score. But, I'm getting a little bit imaginative again. There are many possible ways you could play football, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should play football that way.
Norman, I did see the Ottawa coach talking to Willie Wood at the intermission between the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Perhaps he was saying to Willie Wood, hey, how about whichever team wins gets all of our salaries? Willie Wood, of course, thinking that would be a great deal because they had a huge lead at that time. Perhaps that is how the Ottawa team is attempting to snooker the Toronto Argonauts out of their gains. But we shall see. Maybe it was foolish.
That would be quite a story. The story of the decade to kick off the 1980s. Well, let's see what happens on this next possession. Maybe Toronto can play into that storyline.
This is James Franklin, quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, and you're listening to Third and Roll.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We've got Jerry Organ on for the kickoff. There are 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Is he gonna go for a short kickoff or a regular kickoff? Let's see. He's going for a regular kickoff, folks. And that is a 65-yard kick. Preston Young on the return. He picks up 25, brings it up to the Argos' 25-yard line. Jackson hands the ball off to Metcalf. Metcalf going for a reverse. No, it's a fake reverse. And Metcalf, the ball is out. But, what's this? Jackson dives on the ball and recovers the ball. Wow. So that was so close there for Ottawa. That could have been the turning point where they got right back and tied up this game. But still, it was a loss of 5 on the play for the Argos. That's going to bring up a long 2nd and 15. Jackson is deciding to keep the ball in his hands this time. He is going to go for a screen pass. That ball is complete, though Metcalf has lost 3 yards. He's going to need to pick up 18 yards or more for a first down. And he picks up 20! Wow! What a great roll. Throw there from Jackson. Metcalf breaks a tackle, and he picks up that key first down for the Argos to keep possession of the ball.
Well, I couldn't believe that call of the screen pass there. This short little pass in the backfield when they need 15 yards. Looked like he was going nowhere, but he finds the hole and breaks all the way through. First down, Argos.
Jackson hands it off to Metcalf. Metcalf with an end run. Metcalf with another loss. A loss of 1 there on the play. Really hit and miss here for the Argos right now. So 2nd and 11. The Argos are at their own 36-yard line. Jackson is going to go for a short pass now. Argos being conservative with the ball. And that ball is incomplete. Incomplete there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 11 now for the Toronto Argonauts.
This is Jamal Campbell, number 67, offensive tackle from the Toronto Argonauts. You're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
So we've got
Zenon Andrushishin
on for the punt. He is punting from his own 36-yard line. Zenon with a 35-yard kick. That kick looks as though it might be going out of bounds. Ottawa is choosing to return the ball, and Ottawa picks up 10 yards on the return. So with that, Ottawa will take over at their own 46-yard line, down by 8 points.
You're listening to Third and Roll.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Ottawa trying to make this a close game late in the fourth quarter. There are 5 minutes remaining. Holloway hands it off to Crump. It's a reverse. No, it's a fake reverse. Crump gets through into the second level, and that's a 25-yard pickup there. Crump is really running the ball well. Holloway going right back to the hot hand there of Crump. It's a run from option, and Crump gets stopped for no gain there on the play. 2nd and 10 here from the Argos 39-yard line. It's a pass from option. Holloway's in trouble. Holloway's scrambling. Is he able to get away from it? Bruce Clark is trying to sniff him out and get another sack on the season. And Holloway escapes. And Holloway picks up 4 yards on the play. So that's a 4-yard scramble there for Holloway. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. It's a pitch out to the left, and Crump picks up 15 yards. Wow, Ottawa is getting really close to the Toronto goal line. Down at the 19-yard line. It is getting really quiet in here. I feel like I'm on my own. Norman, his mouth is open. He's just shocked at what we're seeing unravel here on the field.
I mean, is this the same team that we saw through the first 3 quarters?
So it's an off left tackle there, and they pick up 8 yards. So that's going to bring it to 2nd and 2. Ottawa down at the Toronto 11-yard line, and that brings us to...
This is the 3-minute warning.
This is Chad Owens, the Flying Hawaiian and former receiver for the Toronto Argonauts. You're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
Ottawa with the ball late in the fourth quarter. They are down by 8 points. They're going for a run over center, and they pick up 3 yards, inching ever so close. That's going to get them a first down. It's now 1st and goal from the Toronto 8-yard line. There are 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the game. Going right back to the running play. It's a run from option, and they get stuffed. Bruce Clark there to drop the hurt onto Richard Crump. It's going to bring it to 2nd and goal now. Holloway keeping the ball himself. It's a pass from option. And the ball is to Gabriel, and Gabriel is into the end zone. Into the end zone. This crowd is aghast. Ottawa coming all the way back, but they still got another ways to go. They are down by 2 points here. Norman, what do you think they're going to do? They've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the game. This has got to be an obvious 2-point conversion situation, right?
Oh, the only question is what play they're going to call, because you got to go for 2 here.
They are going to go for a fake reverse. And it's into the end zone. Crump gets across the goal line. Wow, that brings them all the way back. We are tied up at 24.
Could you ever have imagined when it was 23-0 that this game would ever see a tie once again? This stadium, this exhibition place crowd is just completely stunned.
So Ottawa, having gone on a 24-1 run here, have scored 15 points here in the fourth quarter. I say it a lot, but wow.
This is a wow moment, no question about it. Well, the fans don't think so.
There must be one neutral out there who is saying, "Good show, Ottawa, good show."
It's for those who don't care who wins. It's always fun when the team that's way behind comes back. Though try telling that to a partisan fan and you may not get a warm reception.
So there are 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Jerry Organ is on to kick. Not a time to gamble here for him, I suppose. They are doing a deep kickoff. That was a 50-yard kick. That's going to bring the ball down to the Argos' 15-yard line. Argos on the return, and they pick up 20. So they have been getting some pretty good kick returns here from Preston Young. There is 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, Preston Young, 3 interceptions in this game, and he's been doing good kickoff returns all game. What a show. But now here we come down to those final minutes. There's nothing like football when those final seconds are ticking away. Can they do what they need to do?
Greetings from the desk of Dr. Footius Blunicus. The medieval game of football was not universally appreciated by the authorities. As, for example, we find the first written reference to the game by the name of football in 1314, when the Lord Mayor of London, Nicolas de Fardon, wrote about the gros pelote de paix, the large footballs which had become a menace to the city. As he writes, "For as much as there is great noise in the city, caused by hustling over large footballs in the fields of the public, from which many evils might arise which forbid, we command and forbid on behalf of the king, on pain of imprisonment, such game to be used in the city in the future."
So we have Jackson. Hands it off to Metcalf. It's an off right tackle. Metcalf gets stopped for no gain. Not the time for these kinds of no gains for the Argos. There have been too many of them in the second half.
Huge second down here.
Willie Wood is thinking about it.
Working.
He's conferring with Jackson. They're saying, hey, we've done it before. Let's try it again. Jackson going for the screen pass. That ball is complete, but Metcalf is 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
He says we're going the wrong way.
Oh, he's drunk. How would he know where we're going?
Yeah, how would he know? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Terrific.
Thank you.
He's going to need 15 yards to make it a first down. And he fumbles the ball! Oh, goodness. That is absolutely the worst time that can happen. The Argos have been so good with the ball this whole game, and now with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, Ottawa with the ball at the Toronto 30-yard line. They're already in field goal range.
Brett Brannigan might have something to say about that play, but if not, I will. I mean, this short pass into the backfield and then just drop. This is just an unbelievable turnaround. The Argos now in deep trouble.
Jackson, what are you doing? Push the ball downfield. What the heck do you think you're doing? What in name are you thinking when you're throwing the ball behind you? Go forward. Gah! Well, thank you, Brett. So Ottawa with the ball. Again, 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the game. Going right back to Crump for an off right tackle, and Crump gets stuffed. No gain there on the play. There are now 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the game. Ottawa going for a run from option. This is the Crump show here in the fourth quarter. And they pick up 7. So there are 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the game. It's bringing up 3rd and 3. This is the time. What are they going to do, Norman? Are they going for it?
Well, this is close to that borderline where you could almost imagine them going for it and just trying to keep the ball out of the Argos' hands. But here, the kicker's taking the field. They're going to get those points and get the go-ahead.
Jerry Organ. of scrimmage is the 24, so this is going to be a 31-yard field goal. The kick is up. And it's good. It is good, and the air has really come out of the stadium here, folks. With 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter, Ottawa has snatched a 3-point lead. It is 27-24 Ottawa. I really got to go back to that pool analogy, Norman. The Ottawa Rough Riders are acting like a couple of pool sharks out here.
I mean, that ever happened to you? All of a sudden you feel like you can't miss? Because I dreamed about this game, fat man. I dreamed about this game every night on the road.
I just can't understand what happened. The Argos, they're not doing anything different. They're doing the same thing they've been doing for the first three quarters. They're not the dice, the plays, they aren't breaking in their direction the way they were earlier on in the game.
Or maybe you hit on the problem itself. Maybe they are doing the same things. They are not making the adjustments. Ottawa's starting to read what they're doing. Toronto started to think that they have the whole system figured out and they knew exactly what to do. But the evidence of the fourth quarter is saying otherwise. But here they go. Once again, we get down to final seconds football. Toronto is going to get the ball again, and here's their chance.
You're listening to Third and Roll. Can I say the same thing but in Tamil? நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது Third and Roll.
So Jerry Organ is on for the kickoff. That is a 55-yard kick. Argos with the ball at their 10-yard line. And Preston Young picks up 30 yards. 30 yards, so that brings it up to the 40-yard line. There are 50 seconds remaining in the game.
Another impressive return by Preston Young, giving the Argos a chance. But here, Jackson takes the field, the offense is on the field, and this is their moment. This is their chance.
So Jackson with the ball, he is going for the pass from option. Jackson's in trouble. Jackson is trapped behind the line of scrimmage. And Jackson escapes and picks up 4. So that play took a while to develop. It is now 40 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. It's bringing up 2nd and 6 for the Argos.
Now we're in full 3-down football, so got 2 shots here.
So we've got Jackson. He is going to go for a long pass now. Pardon me. He's shaking it off. He's saying, we're going to go for the short pass. Jackson. The ball was complete. It's complete to Metcalf. Metcalf has 5. Let's see if he can get any more after the reception. And he picks up an additional 5.
First down, Toronto.
So 10 yards there on the play. The Argos are up to their own 54-yard line. There are now 35 seconds remaining in the first half.
You can feel the excitement picking up in the stadium. They're just touching on the extreme edges of possible field goal range, and they have a shot, but there's only a few seconds left to go.
Really, to have a shot, they want to get it at least probably within the 45, to scrimmage from the 45-yard line, so they got at least another 10, 15 yards to go. So Jackson, he is going to go back to that pass from option, and Jackson finds Greer. Greer has caught it 8 yards down the field. Greer running with it, picks up an additional 6 yards.
First down.
There are now 25 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
And this hometown crowd is loving it. This is what it's all about.
So they are down to the Ottawa 42-yard line. Jackson is going to hand it off to Metcalf for an off-right tackle. And Metcalf picks up 3. So with 20 seconds remaining, the Argos are down to the 42-yard line. And this is going to bring up 2nd and 7. Argos going right back to Metcalf. It's going to be a run over center. And Metcalf picks up 6. That is going to be a 3rd and 1.
Wow, can you believe the situation that we're left in? I mean, is this something out of a coach's exam? just giving you a challenging situation. You're 1 yard away. You're so close to converting. And yet, if you do not make that 1 yard, it is all over. What a decision.
Willie Wood is really thinking about it here. He's at home. He wants to get that home playoff date. Well, the Argos have run out of time here. They have to make a decision, and I think we can tell by who is coming out onto the field.
Zenon Andrushishin
Is on for the field goal attempt.
Less thinking, more kicking.
We have 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Argos are at the 34-yard line. He's been crucial for the Argos all day today.
And the first half, we were saying this was his game. Well, now it's his moment to do what he has to do.
The first game of the season between these same two teams ended in a tie.
We paid for blood!
Could we have the same result again here today? Let's see. We've been through so much. To imagine going through all of that to come back to the same result. Let us see how the play goes. So Zenon, the kick is up. It has a distance, but it's wide. It is wide. It goes through the end zone for a single point. That makes it 25-27 for Ottawa with 5 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, you can almost hear the pain. Do you hear that pain in this stadium?
Take it back!
The gut-wrenching disappointment of coming so close.
You lose! Good day, sir!
And after everything he's done in this game, you know, it goes back to what I was saying in the first quarter. It really hurts to be a kicker. I mean, when you succeed, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, you scored field goal. Too bad it wasn't a touchdown. And when you fail, it's like you have ruined everything. There is no easy life for a kicker. Wow, that is just a gut-wrencher here for the Argos.
You're listening to Third and Roll.
So the Ottawa Rough Riders will take over from their own 35-yard line. Again, 5 seconds to go. So unless there is some type of fumble here on the play, this will be the final play of the game. Ottawa, being conservative, going to run up the middle. They pick up 1, and that is the end of the game, folks. The Ottawa Rough Riders stormed back from being down 23-6 at the end of the first half. Argos, after 23 first half points, score only 2 singles in the entire second half to lose 25-27. So with that, I'm going to send it back up into the studio for Ron Booman and Brett Brannigan. Ron, take it from here.
Hello and welcome back to the studio. We have completed another game of football as the nation's business was dealt with in a decisive manner. It appeared as if the Ottawa parliamentarians had been decisively removed from office, and yet in the final days of the campaign, they were able to pull off a stunning Election Day victory. And now we have our favorite commentator, Mr. Brett Brannigan, to discuss what he is unhappy about.
Ron, I just can't. I just can't. These Argos, they're breaking my heart. Mark Jackson, I still don't know why they were being so conservative at the end of the game. Zenon Andrushishin, such a great kicker. That cycle is worth nothing now. Just truly disappointing, but it shouldn't be up to him. It shouldn't be up to him. Willie Wood, this loss is on you, on your play calling. If you had gone for it on 3rd and 1 at the end of the day there, maybe you'd have a closer kick, or maybe they could have even gone into the end zone for a touchdown. Truly disappointing. I am livid. I cannot believe it, and honestly, I am just heartbroken. Ron.
Thank you, Brett, and thank you, everyone, for participating in our football democracy. And now we also would like to conclude that there was another feisty debate happening in another corner of our nation, in which the Hamilton Tiger Cats scored 19 victories and the Montreal Alouettes scored 8 of them, leaving Hamilton now the clear leader of the team table in the Eastern Division of our Canadian Armchair Football League. So as we head into the fall season and the final days before the final game of this exciting year, I say good night on behalf of all of us. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being part of this, our beloved game of football.
Wow, Alex. So that was a shocker there at the end. As the person who was choosing the Argo plays, I really gotta take the blame myself there. I guess I got a little bit too complacent here in the second half. I gotta get better at rolling dice. I mean, I don't know what else I can do.
Well, when games like this happen, I'm usually speechless for a while. It takes a while to sink in. I just can't believe that this is what happened, and yet that is why, like they always love to say, that's why they play the game, because you never know what's going to happen. And in this case, a shocker has been delivered on the shores of Lake Ontario.
Next time on Third and Roll.
Toronto
versus
Hamilton.
Let's go!
Third and Roll is an independent Canadian football board game podcast recorded in Toronto, Ontario in 2019. Today's episode features the voices of Spencer, Alex, and Subi.
This works for me.
Thanks, Subi. Our cover art is illustrated by Bryce Hall. This episode was edited by
Spencer Adams from Toronto.
Our theme music is Magic Mountain by Jazzar. Brett Brannigan's theme is The Spellbreaker by Tritachyon. Both songs used through a Creative Commons Attribution License and freemusicarchive.org. Ron Booman's theme is Box Mak Fiodak, performed by United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. The Pedant's theme is Box Variacho and a Sank Clave, performed by Kimiko Ishizaka. Todd Gray's interview music is Box Aria Variata, variation number 3, performed by Brendan Kinsella. That's a lot of Bach. All Bach pieces used are in the public domain. If you'd like to help support the show, you can tell a friend or leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher you use. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/thirdandroll and become a patron to get exclusive early access to new game episodes and to become a recurring character on the show. If you want to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter @thirdandroll or send an email to thirdandroll@gmail.com. New episodes every Wednesday. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Third and Roll.
I'm not an afterthought, Spencer, but I'll move on.